Well, as political pressure mounts here at home, a new flashpoint in the Gaza war. Israeli ground troops have entered central Gaza for the first time, moving into Deir al-Balah, an area aid groups say has been a humanitarian hub. Israel believes Hamas may be holding hostages there, including some of the 50 still missing. The move has sparked international outrage, with nearly 24 countries now demanding an end to the war. The UN is also accusing Israel of firing on a crowd of seeking food over the weekend. Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry says at least 85 people were killed. Israel says it opened fire on Palestinians who posed a threat and accuses Hamas of creating chaos. Jerusalem is also disputing the death toll. Okay, and for more on this, let's bring in Michael O'Hanlon, Senior Fellow and Director of Research in Foreign Policy at the Brookings Institution. Michael, welcome. So we're seeing this ongoing chaos surrounding the aid distribution in Gaza. It didn't work under UN supervision. The GHF is having issues, and Hamas, still causing problems there. With so many players, Michael, and just a lot of mistrust, do you see any real solution to the Gaza aid crisis?
Hi, Jenna. Well, yes, I think there are ways that could be modified. There are two ideas in particular that one is more of a political or big picture idea, the other is more technological. But the big picture idea is that I think Israel needs to accept that even though no Hamas leadership should ever be dealt with again or given any kind of standing, nonetheless, you cannot kill your way out of a terrorist movement. And we learned that with al-Qaeda. We wanted, certainly after 9/11, every al-Qaeda member dead. But after a few years, we realized that decapitating the leadership and preventing the movement from restarting, those were the achievable goals. And that if you kept after trying to kill each and every one of a person who might call themselves al-Qaeda, that you were just going to fight forever and perhaps even make the problem worse. So at a conceptual level, I think Israel needs to distinguish between defeating the leadership and, down several levels, not just top leadership, which they've already done, and defeating or killing every single member, which is unrealistic.
Yeah.
At the technological and practical level, I think Israel can start to try to create zones of safety within Gaza that essentially use biometric indicators and controlled access points to try to gradually make sure that everyone is basically known not to be an established Hamas figure. And then to try to, again, create sort of from the ground up a safe zone and do it neighborhood by neighborhood, city by city, try to make that a positive vision for how safety can be restored and also the sustenance of the Palestinian people can be enhanced.
So Michael, we reported Israel's taking quite a bit of heat from some more unexpected sources. U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee called a West Bank church arson an act of terror, and he also condemned the killing of a Palestinian American. The White House is demanding answers after a strike on Gaza's only Catholic church. Michael, do you see a shift in support from allies like the U.S. toward Israel?
Yes, absolutely. I think that if we compare over the last couple of years, and we all understand why Israel felt it needed to react very, very robustly after October 7th, 2023, a heinous day, a tragic day, a day that sealed Hamas's fate. And I think Israel's been justified in trying to destroy the leadership and infrastructure of the movement. But the Biden administration, which was portrayed as being somehow softer on its support for Israel than President Trump, although I don't know if that's true, but the Biden administration didn't even make these kinds of statements very often in the first months following October 2023. President Trump tried to be, very categorical in supporting Israel and certainly wanted to try to win Jewish American and evangelical votes accordingly, and then seemed to have a rapport with Benjamin Netanyahu in the early going. But that accord seems to have frayed, even though they collaborated on the Iran operation. Mm-hmm. And it is fascinating to watch these comments because Mike Huckabee is a good man. He's on the ground and he understands the importance of protecting innocent human life. I don't think Israelis are taking Palestinian lives on purpose, mm-hmm. but I think they have become a bit callous in their tactics. And I think criticism, therefore, is increasingly appropriate. It probably should have begun a long time ago. But there are ways for Israel to protect itself and still keep more Palestinians alive.
Okay, Michael O'Hanlon with the Brookings Institution. Always good to see you, Michael. Thank you so much.